We knew Roblox VR was going to be a big hit when it finally came out, but it reached 1 million downloads in a mere 5 days from launch. An incredible feat for any new app on the Quest 2, but especially one that is on App Lab, which still requires an extra step for people to find it or download it, and some people just don't ever get things off App Lab because of that. If somehow you still haven't jumped into or checked out Roblox, it's completely free. I'll leave a link in the description in the top comment for you. As it is in open beta, there is still some problems, some people having a hard time getting in. Your account needs to be 13 plus on Roblox and on MetaQuest for you to be able to play it in VR. And although a lot of the rooms and games inside of Roblox still aren't VR compatible, more and more of them are being added, new ones are being created. So the amount of content you can check out is going up more and more every day that goes by. I Expect You to Die, the VR spy thriller, it's basically an escape room puzzler, is getting its 3rd installment, and we finally have dates of release. August 17th, that's a mere 10 days from now. This is launching on Quest 2. It is waiting a while longer to launch on PCVR until September 28th though. If you've never played an I Expect You to Die game, they're really fun, comedic puzzler games where you are trying to survive these rooms that are definitely going to kill you at least a couple times while you're learning how to solve the puzzles and move on to the next one. A game that's very unlikely to cause motion sickness in people because it uses your actual space around you that you turn and play with puzzles inside of rather than locomotion. You can pre-order this now on the MetaQuest store and get that 10% pre-order discount. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link to that so you can save a little money. And as you've been seeing here, they dropped this new mixed reality trailer to show you what it's like in the game and what it's going for. If it's anything like the first two, I would highly recommend checking this game out. Ever since Asgard's Wrath 2 was announced to be fully standalone capable on the Quest 2, it's been a highly anticipated game. That of course because Asgard's Wrath 1 was a PCVR game and was considered one of the most complete games with the best looking graphics. Meta did a developer deep dive, which I'll leave a link in the description to the full video if you want to check that out, but they talked a lot more about what the game is going to look like. We get to see the early hours of the game's campaign, which is promising 60 plus hours of exploration. This is a lot for any VR game, especially a standalone one on the Quest 2. We know that the game is coming to Quest 2 and Quest 3 as well, with hopefully some more details coming at the Meta Connect event on September 27th of course Asgard's Wrath 2 and the Quest 3 device itself. Meta's VR social app Horizon Worlds has had a rocky start, but has grown into something that a lot of people are enjoying on a daily basis. They have now done kind of a surprise move by dropping a new game in it called Super Rumble, which is actually a first-person competitive shooter game. This was meant to highlight some new improvements they've made to Horizon Worlds, where they say it has better graphics, deeper gameplay, with a variety of quests and rewards overall on the entire platform. The game is fast-paced and a free-for-all, needing at least 2 players but playing up to 6. Players get to pick from different superpowers and different play styles to then try and take each other out as quick as possible. This is a surprising move for several reasons. Meta is always a little iffy about anything that's a first-person shooter, and of course this also puts them in more competition with Roblox, which they just released together on the Quest. That said, I've spent very little time in Horizon Worlds. I pop in there every once in a while to see what's new, but what are you choosing out there? Obviously we've got quite a few different VR social platforms to choose from now, whether you're in a Rec Room, Roblox, VR Chat, or this. Which one do you play the most? RIP Echo VR. Echo VR servers have been shut down after a long road of people trying to stop that from happening, between online petitions that actually got quite a few signatures and tons of people with videos saying reasons that they should keep it open. The servers have gone dark. This is a sad day for the amount of people that were still using this as their competitive game. This was a popular game for VRML, for actual league tournament play, and a lot of people who get a new Quest 2, this was one of their titles they added because it was free and something really different to check out. Ready at Dawn Studios did say that one of the reasons they were shutting this down is to focus on their next project. We don't know yet what that next project is, but it's sad to see something like Echo VR going the way that it did. I personally hadn't played it in a long time, but that's because every time I played it, I just wasn't as good as everyone else who had been playing it for years, but I'm sure those people are very sad right now. How do you feel about this? Let me know in the comments. You might have completely missed the news that Among Us VR actually got a new Pulse Point map. This of course with new tasks to do, new environment, new cosmetics that you can buy, and the reason that you might have missed it was it launched the same day Roblox VR came out and made a huge splash. That said, I did actually get to check this out in a live stream with some of the developers. I'll leave a link to that down below, but also of course if you have Among Us and you haven't played it in a minute, this might be something to get you back in, check it out again. PSVR 2 crowd of course still waiting on when Among Us is going to come to that platform, period. Hopefully we'll get some more news about that soon. Speaking of PSVR 2, if you have one and you've been looking for something a little more educational or something to take a break from gaming with, the VR Education education app Human Anatomy has now dropped on PSVR 2. Human Anatomy VR doesn't come at a cheap price though, at $30 on the PSVR 2. If you're a Quest 2 owner, you can try it out as a free trial on App Lab, and the original PSVR version still going for just $10 for Human Anatomy. This is a very intense app and not meant to just be a casual like surgeon simulator type of app. This includes high school level and even university level content, including detailed 3D models and info the developers even say would match the needs of a medical doctor or a medical student who needs to prepare for their exams. It's always interesting to me to see something else in VR outside of our usual gaming and even something outside of the other films and experiences, but $30, I don't know if I'd go out of my way to get this, but for people who are studying this, might be a useful tool. What do you think? I'd love to hear down below. Thank you so much once again for coming out. A lot of stuff is coming up in the VR world, especially with Connect coming up next month. I can't wait for that. But what about you? And I'll see you in another reality.